Gienagay, Nanundi Bijar Troidagan, Naem Gumbengi Jumba, Daroi Mujalina Yagagu. Hello, my name is Troy Dargan. I'm a Gumbenga man and proud to be the Cultural Unit Manager at Kari. It's good to see you. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of all nations of this country of ours. I would like to acknowledge the relationship our people have developed and maintained with our lands and waterways since the beginning of time. I would like to acknowledge all elders, past, present and emerging. Darandang Yariyareng. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Troy, for such a meaningful and inspiring acknowledgement to country. Good afternoon, and thank you for taking the time to join us today on an exciting and significant day for the Kari Foundation. I now have the pleasure of welcoming Kari CEO, Casey Ralph.
Yama. My name is Casey Ralph, and I am the immensely proud Chief Executive Officer here at Kari, the largest Aboriginal service provider in Australia. As a proud Aboriginal woman of the UN Nation, I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge country and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Today, I am on the lands of the Wangal people of the Eora Nation, understanding that each of you are connecting from other nations all over this beautiful country of ours. Established in 2018, the Kari Foundation was determined to provide Aboriginal people and communities with a service that was inclusive, innovative and culturally authentic. Today, we are one of the largest Aboriginal charities across Australia. We here at the Kari Foundation have a vision that community life in Australia is strengthened by Aboriginal people, culture, reconciliation and connection. We work with community to create meaningful points of connection to share Aboriginal culture and achievement. We believe that connection and investment in culture will drive change. I want to thank you for joining us today for what is truly a momentous occasion. Today, we announce Kari Aboriginal Procurement, an Aboriginal procurement arm of the Kari Foundation. This symbolises a key milestone for the Foundation, as it means Aboriginal people are creating prosperity for Aboriginal people, self-determination and autonomy in action, highlighting the reduced need to rely on government funding. We endeavour to provide procurement for a purpose, an end-to-end customer experience which allows the Kari Foundation to supply corporate Australia with cost-effective, reliable, trustworthy procurement to support your business's social commitment to Aboriginal people and communities. Kari Aboriginal Procurement's vision is to help Aboriginal communities across Australia by fulfilling corporate Australia's procurement requirements with appliance, technology, produce and first aid equipment solutions. The Australian Government demonstrated its commitment to Aboriginal businesses by introducing the Indigenous Procurement Policy in 2015. The policy has helped expand opportunity for Indigenous businesses. I would now like to welcome the Honourable Ken Wyatt, AM, MP, Minister for Indigenous Australians. I could not be prouder to introduce today the first Indigenous member of the House of Representatives and someone who has worked tirelessly to be a strong advocate for his Aboriginal people to build a stronger Australian community.
Kaya Wanju. Hello and welcome. It's a pleasure to be with you today to launch Kari Aboriginal Procurement. Firstly, I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of all the lands on which we live, study, work and meet together. For me, recording this video in Canberra, I pay my respects to the Ngunnawal people, their elders past, present and emerging. And I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people across this country. Everywhere I go, I meet Indigenous Australians who are entrepreneurs and visionaries. Indigenous Australians who have an idea and are trying to turn that idea into reality. Indigenous Australians who are motivated to succeed for themselves, but also for their families and communities. This new procurement initiative from Kari is such a strong example of this, and I am pleased to see them progress in this direction. Kari has seen an opportunity and embraced it. By becoming a trusted supplier to corporate Australia and to government, Kari can continue to grow as an employer of Indigenous Australians and as an Indigenous service provider and as key supporter of Sydney's Indigenous communities. The Coalition Government understands the importance of procurement as a tool for driving economic and social outcomes. It's important. That's why we introduced the Indigenous Procurement Policy, or IPP, which we always seem to want acronyms for, in July 2015. The IPP requires government portfolios to purchase goods and services from Indigenous businesses, and we have seen great success from that approach. The policy gives Indigenous businesses an opportunity to bid for work first and demonstrate, like all other businesses, they can deliver the goods or services on a value for money basis. The IPP has had a substantial impact in driving demand for Indigenous businesses, which has been critical in the way in which we've developed the economy of this nation. Since its inception, more than $5.3 billion in contracting opportunities for Indigenous businesses has been generated by the IPP. This equates to over 35,000 contracts awarded to more than 2,140 Indigenous businesses. The IPP has also enabled Indigenous businesses to grow in new sectors. And that's important given the emergence of technology, space, and artificial intelligence. For instance, contracts in engineering, research and technology services have grown from under 10 million in 2015 to more than 100 million in 2021. There has also been a sizable increase in spending with Indigenous businesses in IT, broadcasting and telecoms, which traditionally we have not seen. And despite the complex challenges of COVID-19, 416 Indigenous businesses still won their first contract with the Commonwealth in the 2020-21 financial year. What an incredible achievement given the circumstances of what we've had to face. And it's not just government that is engaging the Indigenous business sector. More and more corporate organisations are using Indigenous businesses in their supply chains. What they have seen is reliability. They have seen the way in which, as businesses, we can deliver to supply their needs. What this is highlighting is that Indigenous businesses have been very effective in business delivery and deliver strongly. They represent value for money. They don't need a handout, just a foot in the door. In participating in Australia's supply chains, Indigenous businesses create wealth, foster social and economic empowerment, and create jobs for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We know Indigenous businesses are more likely to employ Indigenous Australians, and I see that everywhere across Australia. We are proud of the IPP. It has proven to be a game changer for Indigenous business and the whole sector. A sector that continues to see rapid growth and growth into areas that have not been the norm. Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words today. And once again, I commend Kari Aboriginal Procurement on this Procurement for Purpose initiative. It is an outstanding vision, and your efforts go towards providing a model for all others to consider and for us to be successful in the economic growth of this nation, but more importantly, the wealth creation opportunities for Indigenous Australians. And I salute you and thank you.
Thank you, Minister. We are immensely proud to have an influential Indigenous community representative in Parliament supporting Indigenous people, communities and businesses. We are now joined by New South Wales Opposition Leader Chris Minns MP.
G'day, Chris Minns here, New South Wales Labor Leader. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge Indigenous leaders past, present and emerging. It's wonderful to be part of the launch of the Kari Aboriginal Procurement Program. This is a project that backs Indigenous innovation and entrepreneurship. I know there are many corporations that want to work closely with the Indigenous community, and this project allows them to do that. I wish it all the very best of success in the future.
Thank you, Chris. You're a true friend of Kari and a passionate advocate for Aboriginal excellence. It is delightful to be joined by Christine Charlton, Christine is the Director of Business Development and Marketing at Care. Today, Care is the first partner of Kari Aboriginal Procurement. This partnership is appropriate as Care is the largest Australian-owned catering company and takes pride in caring for our community.
Thank you, Kane, for the introduction. Firstly, congratulations on your Procurement for a Purpose project. We are absolutely thrilled to be the first company to join this innovative venture, and we have no doubt that it will be a great success. Your Procurement for a Purpose project is an exciting opportunity for us as it closely aligns with Care's genuine desire to develop sustainable collaborative business growth and Indigenous employment opportunities through our supply chain network. The project will also help us develop all our employees' awareness and cultural understanding to foster mutual respect. Our business relies on solid and respectful relationships, particularly with Indigenous communities and businesses where we operate. We look forward to growing our Indigenous supply network through this partnership. It's so gratifying to see the benefits from our supply chain being realised and supporting the communities in which we operate right around Australia. Kari's proactive approach with Procurement for a Purpose will significantly contribute to identifying Indigenous businesses as supply partners with Care. Importantly, our procurement team understands their responsibilities towards this program and will advocate our participation when interacting with internal departments. We take our RAP vision seriously. Building partnerships and inspiring change is central to our role in embedding our commitments for reconciliation into all business units within Care. Finally, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this exciting day for the Foundation and supporting the creation of prosperity for Aboriginal people. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Our team at Kari is looking forward to walking alongside your organisation on the journey of reconciliation. If you'd like more information about Kari Aboriginal Procurement or the Kari Foundation, please visit kari.org.au or email cap@kari.org.au. Thank you again for your time.